Well, I guess we better throw a strap on here and get this car to the recyclers. Pull out of the bush just a hair. So I've got to make a trip to the scrap dealer. I don't know if I'll get that done today, not today, tomorrow. Once they get all the scrap pieces, hunks of frame and stuff that we're not going to use, rear cross member, all that junk, and any other junk I got laying around that can go to the scrap dealer. It'd be good to clear that out. Then my trailer will be empty again. Yeah, I don't know, not much left of this car. I called another auto recycler closer to us. He says, we don't take that kind of car. I guess not. But I guess somebody does, you know. I've done this car carcass thing before with, was it Blackfoot Metals? They're quite a ways away, like just about half an hour. But a nice drive in the truck. We'll just, you know, call it a hot rod drive and enjoy it. How about that? But they've got a big picker that will just grab this car and get rid of it. Actually, I should probably get rid of the little plastic bucket there too, so they can just do their thing and I don't have to try and keep the bucket. And if they don't take it, then I'll bring it home and I'll cut it into little pieces of scrap metal and take it back. The other option is the city dump landfill, but then I pay them. And I don't mind getting rid of it for free. I don't want to have to pay to dump my scrap metal. So, is one strap enough? It's caving in the roof. Be careful of the Monte Carlo, man. Huh? Oh, this one's quite short. I think it's been broken, which is perfect. That's all I need. These E-Track systems are pretty handy. You know, I've just done this in the last, year or so, whatever. Only used it a few times. But it's so quick for tying cars down or tying stuff down. It's got chocks that fit in there and the wheel tie down strap things that fit in there. Another thing we need to do is check the mailbox. We've got something really special coming. And if it's here, I'm going to show you what it is. A lot of traffic on this road all the time, zooming by. They don't give you a chance to get in and out of your driveway very well. And then there's so many buttons to push as well, you know. Long drive to the mailbox. Not really, but I had to bring the truck around to the back alley anyway. All right, let's check this out. Mailbox key. Mailbox. Hot today. Super hot. Super hot day today. Give this a whirl. It's so hot. Nope. Not yet. So I guess we better keep it a secret for a little while. It has to do with my latest car project. And it's going to be the finishing touches that just make it look so good. Glad I've got the genuine 1942 4x4 winch truck, tow truck, lift truck. Does it all, man. That, eh? Got it in there. Now, people like watching what goes on in this back alley, but I can get a winch line in and I'm going to try and tie it somehow to the veranda with the, what do they call that thing? The deck, right? Without pulling the deck off of the house, and then drag these things up into underneath the deck, and we'll cover them with tarps and so on. I got a pile of stuff out there already, old Chevy car parts. And one more thing, besides lemonade, because I married the right woman. Awesome, honey, thank you. Whenever you're talking about a project, starting a new project, the whole classic car ethics thing comes up. You know, scrapping out this 86 Monte Carlo, there's comments, you know, like you should have restored that car. You should never scrap a car. And sometimes that's true. And there's sometimes cars get scrapped that probably shouldn't be scrapped. And this one definitely could have been fixed. But the fact is that all of the parts that I'm not using, like right down to every little trim piece, went to somebody else's car. So I think there's probably about 6 other cars. In fact, just today, one of the guys that bought some of the parts sent me pictures of the parts on his car. You know, he's put them on already, and just really happy about them. So there's probably half a dozen cars that are being restored from the parts of this car, and I really am going to use the powertrain. It's in good shape, and it's going to be the perfect powertrain for my 46 Chevy. So I'm able to save that car, right, the 46 Chevy. I bought it last year for what was it, $1,300 or something like that, Canadian. And then this one, the 86 Monte Carlo, I paid 800 Canadian for it. But I remember when I bought my 29 Dodge, when I was 18, a guy, friend of mine who was a little bit older than me, said, you know, before you start chopping that thing up, make sure you really consider and make a decision of where you want it to be, you know, 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, or whatever. It was a 4-door car. I bought it at an auction. There was 26 of them for sale. People came from all over the northern states and southern Western Canada with their car hauling trailers. And they went home empty because the cars were all 4-doors. And in those days, nobody wanted a 4-door. And I bought it because I only had $300, and I just decided whatever car was for $300, that's the one I'm taking home. And so the car was running, the brakes didn't work on it, the windows were gone, but it had all of the chrome, like every piece of chrome, and the bright work was all there and not dented. It was all in good shape, a bit rusty. So I got all that chrome plated, and I've fixed anything since it's broken. Some of the pot metal stuff, it breaks after a long time. So still today, that car looks like really original, and I've kept it that way all the way through because it's not easy to find a car that has all of those parts with it, So, I mean, it's got a modern powertrain in it, but the outside of it looks original, really classy, I love the look, the little cowl lights, that glow in the dark, and the band of chrome over the cowl, and the really nice, cool-looking bumpers, the split two-piece bumpers. And so, thank God that was all there, and I was able to restore it all and make the car look original and still fun to drive. But when it comes to your car and your project, you've got to decide, and it's not just about ethics, it's about practicality as well. Maybe ethically, yeah, okay, guys don't like that I cut up this Monte Carlo Super Sport. Well, you could have restored it, and you didn't, so I did what I wanted with it. So I don't think there's a right and a wrong choice in this thing, whether you want to cut it up and modify it, make a gasser out of it, a dragster, whatever you want to do, or chop it and channel it or whatever, make it a nice low rider, whatever it may be. Like, go for it, because that's what you want. You found the car that you can do that with, and yeah, just go for it. So, I mean, that's my attitude. In the end, these things are all going to burn, like seriously, they're not going to last forever. My 29 Dodge is going to have its 100th birthday here in a few years, and that's a record. Not very many cars are 100 years old, still on the road, daily drivers for all of these years. And so, I mean, I've got my joy out of it, my enjoyment, and certainly my money out of it. No car payments my entire life. So just consider carefully what you want to have, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years down the road, what you want this car to look like, because there is no going back. I saw one guy that cut a 29 Dodge 4-door into a 2-door. Man, it was a sharp project. I really like that idea. I didn't do that with mine. And nowadays, 50 years after I bought that car, 4-doors are kind of cool, they're in big demand. The price has gone way up on them. People like them. And my wife actually would rather have 4-doors. I've got all 2-doors just because I'm old school, except for the 29 Dodge. Everything else is a 2-door, hard tops, that kind of thing, coupe. But yeah, my wife likes it just because of the convenience. You pile the grandkids in the back door. I mean, there's a reason they made 4-doors, Anyway, happy hunting, happy cutting, happy hot rodding, and put it together the way you want it. Just be sure that that's what you want before you start cutting.